Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we will be covering understanding data analysis. And by the end of this session, you will have a clear understanding of what data analysis is, why it's important, and how it is used to solve real world problems. Let's get started. So I have this manual with me, From Data to Decisions, a simple path to analysis. It's clear. Without data, you can't make a decision. Without an information, you can't arrive at a decision. So that is why this handbook, this manual for this course is named From Data to Decisions. So what is data analysis? Data analysis is the process of examining, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to discover useful information, draw conclusions, and support decision making. That's what data analysis is all about. So the key points here: collect data collection. So this is the process of gathering raw data from different sources like surveys, databases, sensors, or website. The next thing is data cleaning. As an analyst, you will hear this a lot. In this data analysis field, you will hear data cleaning a lot. It's very, very important. So it is a process of removing errors, duplicates, or irrelevant info to make sure the data is accurate. Data cleaning is when you remove errors, duplicates, or irrelevant information to make sure that your data is accurate. Explore and visualize. So this is the use of charts, graph, and statistics to understand patterns or trends. Analyze. So this is where you apply statistical method or algorithm to find relationships, make predictions, or test hypotheses. Interpret results. Turn the analysis into insights that can help solve problems or improve decision makings. So at the end of the day, after doing all this, you have to turn the analysis into insights that can help organizations, individuals, companies to solve problems and improve decisions. Why is data analysis important? It helps businesses, researchers, and organizations, even individual like you, make smarter choices based on facts rather than guesses. Data analysis is very, very important because it helps you as a person, businesses, researchers, and organizations make smarter choices based on facts rather than guesses, not assumption. You are making decisions, you are making choices based on facts. So that is how important data analysis is. So you might have this question: for an entry data analyst role, which tools do I need? So the answer to this question is focus on these three key tools. Excel. Excel, we call it the mother of data. Excel is widely used for data cleaning and analysis. So you will learn formulas like VLOOKUP, if, and the rest, pivot tables, and charts. Another tool you will need is SQL, structured query language. This is the only language you can use to communicate with databases. It's very, very important. We call SQL the king of data. So you need to know SQL. Master, select, where, join, and group by. We will look at all this in this course. The third tool you need is Power BI or Tableau for creating dashboards and visualizing data. So you need one of these, Power BI or Tableau. We are going to make use of Power BI. Power BI is widely used. It's more popular. It's from Microsoft. It's widely used. So whether you are using Power BI or you are using Tableau, it's still for the same purpose, to create dashboards and visualize data. It's just like you having Chrome browser and Firefox browser. Two of them use it to access the internet, just different companies. So that is the difference between Power BI and Tableau. We are going to make use of Power BI in this class. So okay, after explaining all this, I will just briefly show you an example of this. This is an example of how a dashboard looks like. So this is a dashboard, a simple dashboard with Excel. So this survey was done. Actually, I am NYSC site trainer. So during income training, I carried out a survey. I asked some core members some questions. So this is the data that I got after the survey. So this is the data. So after, like we said earlier, the first thing is collect data. You have to gather raw data from different sources like surveys, databases, sensors, or website. Mine was surveys. I did surveys, asked some questions using Google Form. So this is the data. What did I do? Collect data. I clean the data, explore and visualize, analyze, then interpret results. I was able to turn the analysis into insight that can help solve problems and improve decision making. So this is it. Uniform fitness. One of the challenges core members face a lot is the issue of giving, like collecting a uniform that is not your size. So we asked them, the uniform that was given to you, was it fitted? It was not your size, but were you able to manage? It was not your size and you had to adjust it. So this is the numbers that said fitted. You can see the bar is very low. Not my size, but manageable. You can see. Then a lot of people said that it was not their size, but they had to adjust. Meaning that a lot of people had to adjust their uniform. Then how do we address this problem? How do we solve this? And I asked them, what would have been your preferred uniform size if you were to choose? You can see a lot of people went for medium, large, extra large, and so on. If you look at the female, filter it, female, medium, male, most of the males large, then you can. And another thing is that I can activate a data label. You can see about 139 say that they prefer medium, 103 large. So, for example, I noticed that when you are registering for NYSC, they normally ask these questions, your preferred uniform size. You choose large, medium, extra large, and so on. But if that data, I don't know, if that data is being analyzed, if you are able to analyze that data, then they will track it down to your state that you are being posted to. And the issue of adjusting the uniform will be solved permanently. It will be suppressed, like, in fact, this will be a bar that says that they had to adjust. This would be the bar that said that it was fitted. If at all the data was analyzed properly. So you can see how powerful data analysis is. So if I was able to get the data of all the core members that are going to serve that particular batch and analyze that data and arrive with this, I can hand over this to NYSC. Then they will now know how to send the uniforms down to different states. This can help them a lot to ensure that core members don't have to adjust uniform income. the uniform is not like wasted and so on. So data analysis is very, very important. It's very, very powerful. And this is what you are going to learn in this course.